Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Skratch. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Happy Friday and happy weekend, everyone. Let me know in the comments down below what plans you guys have for this weekend. You getting ready for Christmas, doing some last minute shopping maybe on the run, you know. We do have the 2x on Void Shards. We have the Champion Chase tournament that started for the Fusion guys. And we have a 10x on this brand new Legendary Champion. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you tempted by this bad boy? Are you pulling just to get this one, or you're waiting for tomorrow when we have Georgie on the 10x? The Champion Chase tournament is actually not as bad, guys. 2,500 points, as I kind of like expected it to be, you know. And enough with summoning events and fusions and stuff. The main thing that we are going to cover in today's video, guys, of course, is going to be the Curse City. And we do have the Sand Devil's Necropolis right here. I gotta admit it, I've been slacking with the Curse City for the last few days, guys. I missed 2 full days, actually, because I forgot about it. You know, I got knocked out, I fell asleep, and didn't have a chance to get this done. I've been pretty busy IRL, though, so it's fine. I'll still have plenty of time to go on and do everything else that I've been missing on, you know. But the main thing that I want to focus on is the whole Soul Cross. This is very challenging. I'm trying to make my way to go all the way to stage 19. Is the hardest stage in the entire game mode, okay? And I'm definitely going to attempt to beat that till I'm dreaming it, because you are getting 40 curse remnants from there, if I'm not mistaken, or 20. I can't really remember exactly how many you're getting from there. But either way, I wanna smash that down. We do have a couple of double bosses in here, which seem pretty interesting. The Fire Knight, we have the Ice Golem right here, which we could potentially attempt to do it in another video later today, maybe. But the main thing is the Sand Devil's Necropolis, and I do want to give a big shout out to Odd One Gaming. I will link his video in the pinned comment, so make sure you guys head over and show him some love. Awesome dude, does tons of content for Raid as well, and overall he's just an awesome dude, you know. And he actually made a video on an epic champion that can solo this. Now, I've been looking for the last couple of days to some more budget things instead of Pythian, instead of using my Cardiel and my Chagur or other champions like that, just to kind of like put a few more options on the table. And honestly, I feel like this one, it really needs to be kind of like pushed out there for everyone to see it, you know, because it's honestly such an awesome thing. You will need a speed lead, okay, just to make your life easier. And I feel like even I kind of like looked around at my gear and I was like, okay, I need to glyph some of these pieces just to get to the right speed, you know. So you will need a speed lead. If you have a Fushan, would be great. Cardiel again would be great as a speed lead, but he can do many other things. Deacon Armstrong could work as well instead. Of course, his speed lead is only 19%, so you're roughly losing 4 speed from it. But it should actually work. We're actually gonna try with that. If no, you have Eurogrim 20%. We're gonna keep him instead, actually. So we're gonna get some more from there, you know. And in the worst case scenario, you will have her as a speed lead, which gives you 13% speed, approximately 13 speed, you know. And there are quite a few different champions that could offer you a speed lead, you know. But just for the purpose of the video, we will go in with Eurogrim. Now, this is not a quick farm by any means, okay? This is full oro. You don't have to do anything whatsoever. I will talk about the champion and the build in just a second, guys. Of course, I will not play you the entire run because that will take quite a bit. The main thing that you need to keep in mind is that the boss is Magic Affinity. So if you want to attempt anything against this boss, you would want to use Force Champions. Now, the reason for it is because you won't get crit. The weak hits will actually help you to stay alive. How you've seen at the beginning, we actually survived the initial hit because it was a weak hit against our champion, and the boss didn't have enough firepower to kill him. Now, the good part about Basilisk right here is that he has a passive that revives him, okay? So that passive will revive him and will put block damage on him, and he will gain 30% of his HP. Then, of course, in order to make this work, you will need to have a regeneration set. Again, we actually survived right there, how you've seen it, because of the weak hit, and that's fine. It's not a problem. We survive, we die, whatever. We're still coming back to smack this boss. Now, this boss is broken, right? It's pretty broken overall because he's so OP, and just generally he's an OP boss, and having restrictions on how you could potentially deal with this champion is actually pretty damn hard. Thankfully, we do have a few options like revive on that. We have passives like this that will actually allow us to do it. Cold Brew Gaming actually made a video on Python, right, soloing the boss, which I thought was pretty interesting to see that. And you do need to come up with different strategies. Now, keep in mind, next month this rotation will change, okay, and it will feature most probably a different affinity and different restrictions. So we do need to keep an eye on what other champions could potentially do this. Overall, this is not something that you would want to use on your daily farming team versus this dungeon, versus this boss, because my god, it's absolutely painful to just wait in here for however long it's going to take us to take the boss down. We barely scratch the boss and we are 2 minutes in, you know, so this is not something that can be used as a farm team. And yeah, it will take quite a bit of time to kill the boss. I feel like in some ways getting in such a position where you're not getting one shot how we were before, where he literally had this much HP left after the boss's big skill, it can be dangerous maybe, because usually you revive with 30% HP rather than 2% HP, how much we had left there. And I feel like it could be a bit of an issue, but maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, because we do take plenty of turns to recover our HP. How I mentioned, regeneration is key. Now, next to that regeneration set, you can pretty much use whatever, you know. An immortal set will do the job. I actually have a defiant, so maybe that's why the boss is not killing my basilisk all the time, you know. I feel like that will be most probably the main reason. 15% damage reduction, and that will pretty much get the job done for you. So we're almost at a quarter of the HP, you know, and it took us almost 4 minutes so far to do all this damage on the boss. The main thing in here, guys, is that we are dealing damage on the boss with War Master. That's how we are actually dropping down all of his HP, and of course raw damage. It would be amazing, so hear me out, it would be amazing if in the future the developers of Raid Shadow Legends will listen to this and they will create some amazing sets that work like Stone Skin, like the new sets from the Curse series and Protection, and bring an HP burn set, you know, a 2-piece HP burn set or a 4-piece HP burn set that works with accessories, or the poison set to work with accessories as well. That would make this much faster. That's the main reason why I'm saying it. It would enable quite a few different champions to get crazy in a lot of different content, and I think it would be very interesting and will create a lot of versatility when we're talking about building champions and just utilizing them against some of these bosses, you know. So definitely, I think it could potentially be a very good idea from them. There we go. Again, we got hit right there. The boss does hit extremely hard, and is only level 300. Now, if you're going with a different team, let's just say for whatever reason you might want to use a different team. You have Cardiel available. You might have different champions that could get the job done. The speed on the boss, I think, is 200, if I'm not mistaken. You still need 400 plus accuracy. And honestly, you can make some disgusting teams with Cardiel, Chagur, and other champions and get the boss down pretty quick. You will have probably to just retry it a few times, but that's something more for whales, which I don't really think they are really bothering with this content, you know, because they are able to defeat it. This champion is not only great here, okay? So I've been using Basilisk for a long time. I haven't just built him now for this particular content. He is the MVP, okay, in the secret rooms as well. So in the secret rooms, he's very solid, and as well, you can run him in Faction Wars if you need to. I don't use him in Faction Wars, but for whoever needs him to do some work in there, you can definitely get some value out of the champion. But guys, 6 minutes in, we are at a third, and I'm not going to keep you longer in here. We're going to fast forward towards the end of the run. Then I'm going to show you the build and show you the masteries and kind of like give you an idea of what sort of stats would work on the champion. Here we are, guys. I actually went all the way out to the pub, grabbed a pint, had a roast dinner, and I'm back, and we still haven't killed this boss. 22 minutes in, guys, but we're almost there. We are pretty far off from reaching the turn limit. We barely reached the second turn, and I feel like, yeah, it works pretty good. We actually got 1 6-star Merciless, which is nice. Let's see what we actually got from here. I'm gonna show you the stats in just a second. So this is a Merciless Undead Ring attack with attack percentage. I like that, even though it's a 5-star. This is an Orc banner, and it's a supersonic one. It can be Chaos Ore, of course. Same with this one, Skinwalker's 5-star. I'm hoping for this one to be good, guys. Shadowkin Ring, HP. Okay, this... I don't know who I would use it from the Shadowkin, though, but... Okay. I'm definitely looking forward to get more gear from here. More gear from here because, yes, it's just too good. So we're gonna dive into the rest of the stages later on, guys. I just want to go over the builds right now and show you basically what we're heading here. And the reason why I have food, guys, just in case if any of you guys were wondering at the beginning, is not to level them up or anything like that. Is mainly because we want to give Basilisk more speed. So we need 3 allies to die and stay dead, basically, so he gains the extra speed from masteries. But if we're gonna head over right here to recently used, and is not Eurogrim that matters, is Basilisk. So he is on a regeneration and a defiance set, guys. I do have a stone skin accessory which gives me 8% more HP. If you have them, use them, why not? Counter attack accessories are more than welcome because the more counter attacks you get in, the faster you kill the boss. So it's just to save you time. I feel like with them or without them, you're still gonna be safe. You're not gonna reach the turn limit whatsoever. So with the A1, he's an AoE, okay? Great for faction wars and secret rooms, so I mentioned on a stun set. That's how I used to have him build before. And he does have increased attack right here if the attack is critical. Now, of course, this is not guaranteed all the time, but it will be an extra buff every now and then that can help you. And I'm going to explain in a second why I'm mentioning it. This skill doesn't really matter whatsoever. You can stun the boss, so whatever. You use it, you don't use it, it doesn't really matter. You could, in a way, say that you're going to stop that one just to use the basic skill and try to have a higher chance to get the increased attack on the champion. Then you have the passive, revives the champion with 30% HP when killed and places a block damage for 1 turn on a 4-turn cooldown. So that's how this champion is able to do it, guys. Pythian does have a passive that brings in more damage reduction, so that's one of the main reasons why Pythian is such a solid option as well. But I know that a lot of you guys out there might not want to use Python in here. You don't want to change builds all the time. And I'll be very honest with you guys. I don't want to change builds all the time. It's so time consuming to change builds every day on 5-6 teams, you know, which of course is not the case necessarily for everybody. And is taking a lot of silver as well. So I feel like I want to keep my Python as it is for other content. And Basilisk can stay on this build forever. I don't care about it. Even though for the secret rooms, is much better to have him on a stun, you know, but I feel like this is a bit more important for me at the moment than the secret rooms. So when we're talking about artifacts, a regeneration, and a defiant set, now the defiant set, guys, is coming from the Forge Pass, yes. Probably if you're completely free to play, you might not have 2 good pieces, you know. It's very unlikely not to have 2 decent pieces out of the set, though, because you are getting free materials for the Forge as well, and if you're getting unlucky, it is a very high possibility not to have 2 good pieces. Regeneration is an amazing set. You know, it's probably one of the best sets in the Fire Knight. And these are the stats that I have on him. Now, how you've noticed, he's in no danger of dying at any time, no matter what. He's actually not dying sometimes because he's too tanky. So I feel like if you drop 500 defense from this build, you're gonna be more than fine, okay? 500 defense is literally like removing the chest piece or something like that, you know? So keep that in mind as well. That's especially if you have the Defiant set. The 15% damage reduction coming from that is actually pretty solid. 67k HP, 2.9k defense, 264 speed. Now, you kind of want to be in the range of 300 speed. And this is not something that I can confirm myself or deny it. It's just what Odd One said in his video as well, you know. So I would just go with that as well, just in case, you know, just in case. But for me, it worked pretty well. We got roughly 20 more speed from Eurogrim's passive, right? So that put us at 284. Then we got 18 more from Masteries, and that took us at around 300 speed, you know, and that allowed us to kind of like overlap the boss every now and then. So that's what we have in terms of stats, guys. Masteries, I don't have full masteries on him, and honestly, I would suggest if you are planning to get a masteries, save your last 250 scrolls. You don't need them, okay? You don't need them. I just remembered it a bit too late because I just put on the RSL helper and I left it on to farm the masteries, but I have 111 scrolls on top of it and it was a waste of energy. You don't need them. Nothing will help you from there. Now, I went with these masteries because this will boost a bit my Defiant set. If you're using an Immortal or maybe a Speed set next to it, it will actually give you a bit of an extra push, you know. I have Cycle of Magic, which is completely irrelevant, but nothing else really helps the champion more. I do have Rapid Response, and that's why I was talking about the buffs. You are getting the increased attack and the block damage, so those can boost you the turn meter and ensure that you're overlapping the boss a bit more often, you know, by gaining all the turn meter. War Master is the key. You are never going to do it without War Master like this, unless you will have a toxic set, but then you cannot keep him alive. That's why I said, imagine if we would have 2-piece, not 2-piece, or 4-piece poison set or HP burn set that can work with accessories. You would be able to pair regeneration and an HP burn or a poison set, and this would be done in like half of this time, and it would be so much better and interesting to build champions like that. I really think that Plarium should consider some things like this for the future. But that was all for this video, guys. Let me know in the comments down below how you found this boss so far, what team you used to defeat it. I do have most of the Kraken teams to use against the boss, but I just wanted to show you something a bit more accessible, and I feel like this, out of everything that we have for this particular content, is the most accessible thing to the players, you know. And yeah, unfortunately, there are not many basilisks around in the game, at least not for this particular rotation. But we do have other champions that will be able to play a similar role, like Bushi, for example. If I'm not mistaken, he has something similar in his kit, you know, and probably he will work on a future rotation, hopefully. And yeah, big shout out to Odd One Gaming and whoever thought about this strat. Awesome stuff, and hopefully it will help a lot of you guys out there to defeat this boss and claim some more rewards. But I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Much love. Peace.